Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of A Bunch of Marks. My name is Brian Daniels, the host of the show. And of course, it's me and the three other Marks. You guys know him by now. We got Josh Thundershaver in the house.
How's it
I mean,
going?
it's going great. We got DJ Eric
Working.
Montgomery here, who's back
Fuck
after
CM
being
Punk.
after missing last week.
Ugh.
And then we
Yeah.
got my lovely wife Raven is here.
Hey.
And we got a returning guest with us. Although I don't know if Don has been on the show. I don't think Don has been on this show yet.
Not
No.
on this one.
He's been on. He was on that other podcast we
He's
do where we
making
don't
his debut tonight.
pro wrestling anymore. But anyway, we got Big Don in the house.
What
one of the
up?
hosts,
What up?
one of the hosts of the Stable podcast, and you guys should definitely
Right.
go check. It's pretty good. I recommend it. It's pretty good. Anyway, guys, we are here to talk about the Royal Rumble that happened as of this recording, that happened this past weekend in, I would say, a majority of us' hometown of
Yeah.
Indianapolis, Indiana,
Ooh,
which is pretty cool. And this
Forget you guys, I'm going home.
this officially starts a multi-year deal between the WWE and the Indiana Sports Authority, where we're going to get a Royal Rumble, we're going to get a 2-night SummerSlam, and we're going to get a WrestleMania, and probably some NXT sprinkled in from what I read last night in there somewhere as well. So
That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
yeah. So without further ado, let's just for those of us who attended the Royal Rumble, that'd be myself, Raven, Big Don. I gotta know, what did you guys think of Indianapolis hosting the Royal Rumble? Who's go ahead? Somebody just take it off.
I loved
go off
it.
into it. You loved it?
yeah.
What did you
I do.
specifically like about it?
I just Indy always does really well hosting big events. Um, they always do really unique things. They have a great layout. The city is very walkable. It's very drivable. They call it the Circle City for a reason.
Yeah.
It's literally just one big circle.
Yeah.
There's like lots of restaurants and stuff downtown and everything.
Yep.
There's like I don't know what you call it, like a landmark restaurant or like St. Elmo's Steakhouse.
Yeah, for sure.
And
It's a staple. It's a
I already knew that there were going to be wrestlers to go there because it's a world famous, I don't know if it's world famous, but it's, a famous,
saying.
yeah, it's a famous restaurant. And, they have their own cocktail sauce, out in
Yep.
stores and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I don't know. I just didn't, like they did the thing. I think my favorite was the street signs.
Yeah.
It was like, there were like little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
It really brought not only guests and travelers, and everybody outside of the city together,
Mhm.
but I mean it got people exploring the city.
Right.
All of the wrestlers wanted to look for their street name, and everything. It was just I don't know. Indy knows how to host a big event.
Yeah. I mean, to stem off of the street signs, the thing I like about Indianapolis is, we all cover conventions in Indy, like PopCon, Gen Con, some other ones that happen there. And when I immediately think of that, Indy's kind of like a banner city, if you already know what I mean. Like they like to put banners all over the city.
Mhm.
They go all out with the
Oh, I liked the
signage.
belt at the Children's Museum too.
That was really cool, which I jumped over the barrier and got right
You
next to the
didn't jump
dinosaur.
over the barrier, but yes.
And the dinosaur growled at me and told me to get away. That was really fun. But anyway, you only live once, people. Come on. So anyway, so it was fun seeing the street signs. There was a really cool moment where Drew McIntyre went out in front of Yeat
Mhm.
Street, which I think was Maryland Street right there
Yeah.
next to the convention center.
Yeah.
And he just did this. He cut a big promo out there talking about how he deserves to win, like nobody else does.
But just surrounded by the fans
That
and
was-
everything.
that was
It
awesome.
wasn't
Like you
anything
said,
fancy or professional.
yeah, like you said, seeing the wrestlers going like a scavenger hunt, to try
Mhm.
to find their
Yeah.
signs was cool. Like Liv Morgan took some cool.
That was the
photos.
term I was looking for earlier, scavenger hunt.
Yeah, like Liv took some cool photos. Bianca took some awesome photos, and just
Rhea.
them
I
do
mean,
that.
they all, I don't know, and I haven't been able to go back and look at all of them, but
Yeah.
I've seen at least 5 or 6 of the wrestlers post their photos on their own personal pages. So it's just fun.
Big Don, what did you think about Indy hosting the Royal Rumble?
Well, I don't know if just using the term excited really kind of captures
Hmm.
how
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much I was just jacked up about the Rumble being in Indy. One of my honestly, like one of my lifelong goals that I've said for probably the entire time of me being like a WWE fan was if Indianapolis ever
Yeah.
hosted another WrestleMania, I wanted to be there. And this was the closest that
Absolutely.
I've been able to get so far.
Yeah.
Brian, as you said, I am an avid convention goer. I go
Yep.
to
Oh yeah.
wrestling conventions and gaming conventions, pop culture conventions, and I have been to events and
Yeah.
conventions and expos in other cities. And I do
Mhm.
think that there is something special about the way that Indianapolis always hosts these big events.
Yes.
Uh,
Absolutely, man.
you know, we're
Yeah.
we're not the biggest city in the world. You know, we
No.
are we're outnumbered as far as like when you're talking about metropolitan cities, every state around us has a much bigger city. You know,
Yeah.
Louisville has
Especially
a
in the
higher
Midwest.
population. Chicago, right?
Hmm.
Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, even Cincinnati,
Yeah.
we compete with when it comes to like population and stuff. But the fact of the matter
Mhm.
is,
Yeah,
it's
they do.
not just and this is something that anybody who's listening to our podcast, something that I want to make very clear. If you're looking for a city that not only is going to embrace every corner of
Hmm.
your event or convention, but
Yes.
not only does the convention center do it, but every hotel,
Yeah.
every restaurant, there will
Yeah.
be pop-up shops, there will be
Yep.
people in the streets.
Yep.
It
Yep.
is a city-wide thing. When you come here
That's an
for
excellent
an
point.
event,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like when you can, and I'll tell you,
They
I
go
feel
all
like
out.
Indianapolis has,
All out.
yeah,
Hmm.
Indianapolis has kind of always been that as far as like when we
Hmm.
do big conventions, we've done tons of conventions and big ones, big international conventions here.
Hmm.
We are a convention city,
Yeah.
but I will say this:
Absolutely.
when we got the Super Bowl, that changed the way that Indianapolis presents big events.
I agree.
Absolutely did.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
For
and
me too.
I think the Rumble is
Yeah.
just another piece of evidence to
Yeah.
what is to come when it comes to these big
Yeah.
marquee wrestling events and other things to come, but
Absolutely.
specifically like what we're talking about tonight, big
Yeah.
marquee wrestling events. Indianapolis is a perfect city for it. Lucas Oil is a perfect stadium for it.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I want to.
And I can't wait until they have an event there in the summer with the
yeah.
roof open. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too. Let's talk about Lucas Oil Stadium, which I thought was funny. They
Oh,
were calling it
fantastic
Lucas
arena.
Oil Field like a few times. They messed it up. Like if you noticed that, but let's talk about Lucas
Yeah.
Oil
Yeah.
Stadium as a place to have a wrestling show. Never before. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I don't believe at all they've ever held a wrestling event in general. I don't think they've had a single WWE event. I know they haven't had like AEW there, but like, as far as I know, they've never once had a single professional wrestling event there. So,
Right.
At Lucas
or
Oil.
yeah, I don't
That's
think they have
specifically
done
That
it
is
Lucas
that
at.
is
Oil. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, they okay. That's
That
what I
is
thought.
correct.
That's what I thought. So, I'm a diehard Colts fan. We are Raven and I are. I'm pretty sure Don, you are too. Maybe you're not, but
Yes, sir.
if you're not from there, doesn't if you're from there doesn't mean you have to be. But I'm just saying, like,
Right.
I know that we have been to enough games at Lucas Oil Stadium, right, to already know how amazing of a stadium it is. I mean, it tends to end up being like the number one
Mhm.
rated stadium among NFL stadiums almost every
Well, we've been in there not
since
just
It's
for
yeah,
games too. I
Gen
mean,
Con.
we've been in there for Gen Con and
Yeah.
other stuff too.
Yeah, and for
yeah,
Gen Con, I think so.
Yeah.
Remember when they said they were going to, when they were coming here with those shows, I'm like, they got to be using Lucas Oil Stadium, right? They're not going to go to Gamebridge, too small.
oh yeah, no,
So, so walking in, I got chills, dude. Just seeing the ring in there, I'm
yeah,
getting right now, and
Yeah.
that's not just because I'm sick. I'm getting chills from the recollection of walking in, and for the first time ever in this stadium that I've known and loved, in a city that it's growing on me again, after having not lived there in about 6 years now. Um, just being like surrounded by pure wrestling fans, man.
Yeah.
that was get chills all down my body to talk about this. But like just being surrounded by that
Mhm.
was just electrifying. I mean, we didn't have the best seats. I guess to compare to floor seats, some people, if you saw on the floor, you don't always see everything, but it was all right. It wasn't terrible because I think
Yeah.
that stadium has a pretty dang good view no matter where you sit at. That's what I wasn't too concerned about.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you have that people say, "Oh, why did you sit all the way up there? You could have just watched it." Because it's like The Rock says, it's electrifying,
It
right?
is. It's
When
totally
he
Yep.
different.
when he comes out and he smacks his arm and he shows you the goosebumps, I was getting goosebumps.
Hmm.
And that is what's different about attending. It doesn't matter where you sit. I think you're going to have a damn great time.
Yeah.
And especially
Yeah.
at Lucas Oil Stadium, I've sat in 400 level, I've sat in 300 level,
This was my first time
for
sitting
Colts
that
games.
high up.
And that was my first time seeing that high
We
up
were in
too.
600s.
Because I'm like, look, this is our hometown. We have to be here for this event,
Mhm.
right? We're diehard
Yeah.
WWE
Yeah.
fans. We have to be here. You can't miss it. So to just be enamored by the pomp and pageantry, if you will, of the WWE and hearing those entrance themes in that state. Oh my God. Hearing those themes, like
Mhm.
when you heard when they hit Roman Reigns music in there and he came out, that was just like just
And there is something.
70,000 people standing on their feet with the
yes.
Yep.
ones up.
With the
Oh
ones
yeah,
up.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And there is something to say for sitting as high up as we did too, because you can literally see the entire stadium.
Yeah.
So we did hear 70,000 people to these chants.
Oh.
We did hear
Yeah.
when there were pockets of silence and where the chant started.
Yeah.
And we got to see all of this transpire, from where we were.
Yeah. And this was really the practice run, right, for what's to come because this was a one night event. I remember I kept telling Reed, like, dude, just wait till we get like SummerSlam. That's 2 nights. This place is going to
Yeah,
be
2 nights.
insane
Yep.
for that. But dude,
That's
just wait till
crazy, yeah.
wait till WrestleMania gets there. It's going to be nuts.
God.
It's going to be
Huge.
Gonna be
it's going to be
insane.
so it's going to be so nuts in that stadium. Like I'm not even kidding. So where they had the little pre-show with Big E and Jackie
Mhm.
Redmond and Pete Rosenbaum and
Yep.
all that.
The atrium there.
That was the perfect spot right there.
It really was.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
that was such a great spot.
Well, and then if you
to
were
have that.
behind them on their stage or whatever,
Was.
you could like literally turn around and see the ring.
Yeah.
So like it's
Yeah.
all open.
It's
Yep.
like I challenge those of you that maybe didn't make it to the Rumble, go to a Colts game. Like just even
Yeah.
if they're not the team,
Like honestly,
you
the
have to
stadium
experience the
itself
stadium.
is just
I mean,
amazing.
yeah,
The stadium itself is an experience.
it's
Outside
a
of that,
fantastic piece of architecture.
Mhm.
outside of that,
Yeah.
this is a practice run for what's to come because we're
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
getting a 2 night, SummerSlam. We're getting, a 2 night WrestleMania, which can't
Yep.
believe that. It
And
just
let me throw a couple logistics out to
Yeah.
you real quick because one thing that I like to do after a big event, whether it's a convention or something like Royal Rumble, is I like to look at the press releases. So let me throw some numbers at you real quick. So
Okay,
we
do it.
set a record at the Rumble for the most people in attendance. It was the largest gate that WWE has ever had for a Rumble. It was
Wow.
70,300 plus
Wow,
tickets
geez.
sold. Yeah,
Jeez.
and it was the highest grossing PLE that WWE has ever had. They said that merch sales were up
Ever had?
95%. Yes.
What?
Yeah, it was not maybe
Wow.
for
Ooh.
I'll just
Ooh.
for the fact
Hey.
checkers out there, maybe it's for a non-WrestleMania event, but the fact is outside of WrestleMania, it outsold every other pay-per-view that has a history in the WWE.
I'm
That's
pretty sure
amazing.
that also did they break the gate for Lucas Oil Stadium too, or no? Because they had Super Bowl there. Did they break the attendance record?
Because I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know because they had Taylor Swift here.
I think they
back at
actually
the
did beat Taylor Swift.
I think they did too.
Did they? Okay.
And I want to
Okay.
touch on that real quick too. It wouldn't surprise me if they did beat the gate for that as well, because we got to think for those events, it's all stadium seating. So
Yeah.
for this
Yeah,
event,
exactly.
they had more chairs out on the field. So for anybody,
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen a few things
And even
online.
with like
Oh, well, that gate's not correct. That number's not correct because the stadium only seats this capacity. Yeah, that's for stadium seating. You can
yeah, you're right. And
always
even with
add.
Taylor,
Mhm.
yeah, with
Okay.
Taylor, she's got that big stage with the huge runway that comes out too, so that
So
kind of cuts the floor in
Yeah.
half. So yeah,
so
you're right. Yeah, that's
I
true.
can confirm that it did beat Taylor Swift's 10.
I figured they did. Yeah.
So we did it.
That's dope.
Hell yeah.
That's
So
right. That's right, we did.
we were there for history.
And look
We
at
beat the Swifties.
Well, and look at how much,
Beat the
and
Swift.
Taylor Swift was in Indy not too long ago, like just a few months ago.
Yeah.
No.
So,
Multiple
Yeah.
nights.
yeah,
Three nights.
like 2 or 3
Three.
nights. And
Yeah.
3 nights. That's what I thought. And I mean, look at how the city embraced her. I mean, like they did something
Yep.
for her at Children's Museum and everything too. Didn't they put like her bracelets and stuff on the
Yeah, they did
dinosaur
some.
and
They did
everything?
On the
something
big
crazy for
dinosaur,
her.
yeah, the
Yeah,
one with
Yeah.
like they
yep.
did with the belt, the WWE belt. So, I mean, Indy knows how to host a big event. And
Yeah.
with as much as
Hell
they
yeah.
turned out for Taylor Swift, they did even more so for the Rumble. Like the Indy
Yeah.
did it was just
Yeah.
crazy.
All right, let's get into the event. Let's get into the event. So our
Event.
first match of the 2025 Royal Rumble started off with the women's Royal Rumble,
Which I think was a good
Mhm.
choice.
which was won by Charlotte Flair.
Which I
Yeah.
didn't
It's a choice. We'll talk about that in a second. The match started off with
The amount, sorry, Brian, the amount of excitement that you can hear over and Charlotte Flair won. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
like,
number
yeah,
one.
great choice to start with the women's.
So
Charlotte
number
Flair
one,
won. I
Yeah.
was not.
number one, you had Io Sky was number one, and then Liv Morgan
Heck
drew
yeah.
number two. So they kicked
Yep.
it off, and then we got right into
Was it Roxanne, the number?
Yep, I
Yeah,
got the
okay.
list. Yeah, Roxanne Perez was number three, and let me tell you something. Here is my she didn't win it, but boy, oh boy, she really showed who she is, and she's the future. Roxanne Perez is the MVP of the Women's Royal Rumble, without a doubt. I think.
I agree.
Opinion, her, and I would probably have to say Lyra Valkyria were just, they showed up. Roxanne Perez, I think, lasted till she was the next to last.
Yeah.
She was
her and
the
Charlotte.
her and
second to last. Yeah.
her and Charlotte Flair. Bailey came in at number 12, looking to win a second time in a row. Unfortunately, she would not be the
Did
first.
not.
It just had to be that damn Charlotte Flair.
Boo.
We had the Pure Fusion Collective kind of teaming up and trying to take out some people. What I thought was one of
They
the
looked
funniest
really
parts,
good. I thought they looked really good, by the way.
They did everything
yeah.
they could to make them look good. We had Chelsea
hey,
Green.
hang on. I want to
Yes.
I want to ask a question to you guys about
Do it.
them.
Yeah.
Did anybody else feel like Shayna Baszler suffered from the Shawn Michaels curse when she came out in her ring gear? Because I truly feel like unless something has shifted in her ring gear, she came out in like maroon sweatpants and a black tank top shirt.
Yeah.
And she had like some gold foil vinyl stickers on her pants that look similar to her actual ring gear, but looked nothing. She didn't look anything like she normally does.
Yeah, it was like really bad alternate attire. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if
Oh,
perhaps
no.
she had that with her as like just in case gear, or somebody gave her that gear because
Ooh,
maybe they
that's a
didn't
good
get
point.
finished with her ring gear. Because I was like, what if
Oh,
she
yeah.
went? Because if you look at what like is it Zoe Stark and
Sonya Deville.
Sonya
Sonya
Deville.
Deville, right?
Yeah.
They all had like their normal. Obviously, it's kind of amped up a little bit because of the Rumble, but they had their normal style ring gear. And Shayna's running around there looking like she's getting ready to go to a barbecue in the mobile home park after she gets done with the Rumble. I was like, what is she wearing?
Well, what's
Anyway.
crazy is too is she showed up pretty big like last year at the Rumble, right? Didn't she like hasn't she had like the most eliminations in a women's Rumble?
No.
Yeah, it's really
I thought
rocking.
it was
Something
I
like
think it
that.
was
Yeah, I think
her
so.
up until that night, but
Yeah,
I want
I
to talk about
low key love Shayna Baszler. Like
Oh, I
she
do
is,
too.
yeah.
they underutilize her to the extreme.
Absolutely, they do. Yeah.
I gotta talk
agree.
about Chelsea Green in this.
Yes, let's please talk about
So
Chelsea
she
Green.
came in.
Oh my god,
She
dude!
came in at number 5, and she thought she eliminated everybody.
She's so funny.
I love her, man.
Oh my
I
gosh,
love her
I
as
do
the
too.
U.S. champ, the first women's U.S. champ. She's just killing it.
Yes.
Love about her.
She is my straight up MVP of that shit of
Yes.
that match.
Whoa,
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
where I was going to, her and Maxine Dupree, but I'll get there in a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Yeah.
but no, Chelsea, I absolutely adore her. I have loved her literally since I laid eyes on her.
Uh-huh.
You can like just feel her aura through the TV. Like she doesn't
Yeah.
take herself too seriously, and yet she
Yeah.
is a hard worker. I mean, like she knows what she's doing in the ring.
Yep.
Don't let her fool you. She knows what she's doing in the ring.
Yep.
She's good at what she does, and she can take a bump. Let me tell you, she gets beat
Yeah.
up and knocked down like nobody's business for not doing
Go
quote
go
unquote.
back and watch her match with Penta. That match is insane.
She had a match
Have you
with
guys ever watched that? Oh
Oh,
my gosh, yes.
where was
Yes.
this at?
Go
Was this
look
in
it up.
TNA? Was this in
Penta
TNA?
and Chelsea Green. It's insane.
okay.
Okay.
sounds amazing.
I know
That's
she
awesome.
goes through, I know
does.
she goes through at least one. Yeah, she goes through at least one
Okay.
table. I know that.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
At least one,
she's
more than one.
she's fantastic. I can't even remember what it was. It Money in the Bank when she got knocked off the, oh yeah, it was Money in the Bank when she had to climb the ladder and she was quote unquote afraid of heights and everything, and
Yeah.
she
Oh
did all that stuff
yes.
beforehand.
Yeah.
And climbed up there and she got knocked off of there like from real, man. I tell you what, I absolutely adore her. She's just so
Yep.
funny and so pretty and so just, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's so unique.
She's golden. Yeah,
She
she's
is.
golden.
And so for her to be the first one to eliminate somebody, I was so excited. And I was so happy it was BFAB. And I even told Brian, I was like, when she came out there, I was like, she needs to be the one to eliminate her. She has to be the one. And she did. I was so
So
happy.
we got we got Jordan Grace returning again for the Royal Rumble, which some
One of
are
my
saying-
favorite moments.
Some are saying this might be her WWE debut. We don't know yet, but she will be going to NXT when she
Yeah.
She
comes
so
over.
I don't know. I don't know that I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but I thought I saw something online today that confirmed that she signed a 5-year deal with WWE, potentially doing 1 or 2 in
Oh.
NXT.
Okay.
I believe she is.
That's what
I
I've seen,
think
yeah.
she is working for the WWE now.
Woo woo.
Perfect. She's
I like her.
fantastic. I've had the pleasure of meeting
Mhm.
her, talking with her before a few times when I go to a few Impact shows or TNA. She's just awesome. Like she's a workhorse. She's a dog,
Mhm.
man. Like she has transformed her body too.
Mhm.
Over the years. She's such a hard-working class act of a woman, and I can't wait to see what they do with her in WWE.
This is her second
you know,
Rumble.
Yeah, and I like to think that
Yeah.
she'll still probably cross back over into TNA and play with that a little bit from time to time.
Yeah.
Since she's from there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Real quick though,
Yeah.
she had one of my favorite moments, or well, I'm gonna say she had one of my favorite moments. She was involved in one of my favorite moments of the night
Yeah.
when her and Naomi reunited and were hugging. And then
Aw.
Bianca comes over there like the jealous best friend, like you
Oh,
have other friends than me, like
grabbed her by the
back of her head, like this bitch. Like what are you doing with this bitch? And I'm just like, ooh, we keep hinting more and more about Bianca heel turn.
Mhm.
Um,
I think that's gonna be real
of
nice.
that- Speaking of that, we didn't see Jade Cargill in this match.
We didn't.
Which I still don't know. I think what might be happening is they're gonna wait and have whoever attacked her, which I still think it's Bianca Belair.
Mhm.
I think the red herring is Naomi. I really want, because I just so badly want Bianca Belair to turn heel. Like I just want her to turn heel so bad.
Right.
But I think they're gonna play it up. I think it'll be Jade versus her attacker at WrestleMania, and they're gonna just keep building that because obviously she's okay. I mean, she's been posting on Instagram. She's fine. So
Mhm.
I think that they're just kind of building that up. Next thing I want to talk about is we have more NXT stars come in there. We had Jada Parker was in there.
Yeah.
The current NXT Women's Champion Julia, which she's amazing. We also had the return. This one, man, I'll tell you what, this women's match. We went back and watched most of the Rumble. We didn't rewatch the men's Rumble yet because it's like a 4-hour show. We're just like, we ain't gonna sit here and watch 4 hours of this again. So, but I was very disappointed in number 30. Like like Nikki Bella, I really wanted AJ Lee to come back. I think I'm not the only one that says this, or maybe feels this way.
So it's kind of funny
No,
because
I'm with you because like
Yeah.
that was kind of.
Ugh.
I'm not gonna say a wasted spot, but
Yeah, but
right. Well, it was
she
funny
was from an
because
era where it wasn't wrestling first, and that's all I'll say.
yeah, it just
yeah.
felt kind of like a dud.
It was funny because when we went back and rewatched it, like, and I don't remember this happening when we were there, but this was one of those moments that looking back, I can totally, I know that it did. We were after the countdown music, it was complete silence in that arena. Like when you watch it back on TV,
Yeah,
there was dead
Oh, that's funny as
silence.
fuck.
yeah.
It
That
was
kinda-
dead silent until like the music came on, and then there was all these disappointed like.
How did you feel about that, Big Don, about Nikki Bella at number 30?
You know, I knew that there was a rumor that Nikki was coming back. I figured she'd probably, if she was going to come back, the Rumble is a great place to bring people back.
Sure.
I was definitely disappointed for any of the other potential rumors that came out because people talked about, obviously AJ Lee was a big rumor.
Right.
Becky Lynch was a rumor
love to
for
have
her.
had
I'm
Becky.
like, why not Becky Lynch? Honestly,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the biggest, it was so funny to me, like thinking back on it now, like you guys were talking about, you went back and watched it. I started watching it with my three sons because they were like,
Uh-huh.
man, it sucks that we didn't get to watch it live. And I'm like, well, I would have been
Yeah.
watching it here with you had I not gotten a ticket from my friend. So anyway, but we were watching some of it, and I will tell you this, in hindsight, if WWE would have had the opportunity to redo it again, I think you juxtapose a Nikki Bella for an Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Alexa
Yeah.
Bliss.
Holy
Man, what a
shit.
deal. No one
Have I
anticipated.
never been more happy to be wrong?
Yeah. So nobody anticipated at all. Nobody had on their bingo card
Mm-mm.
Alexa Bliss
Well, I mean,
coming back.
Even on
I
our last
specifically
podcast,
said she wasn't coming back.
yeah,
we said she wasn't coming.
on our
Hang
last
on.
podcast,
Predictions.
I had even said that I didn't know that she was gonna come back to wrestling, like, period.
Yeah.
I was like, I think she's having too
So-
much fun being a mom.
So Alexa Bliss came back at the World Rumble during the Women's Rumble, and that was such a treat
Oh my gosh.
to
She
have her
looks amazing.
show back up.
Yeah.
She wasn't in there very long, and that's fine. She didn't need to be in there very long. She was in there a little bit.
Yeah,
But now it just
statement
kind of
was
makes
made.
you
I
wonder.
think Liv and Raquel were the ones who eliminated her.
Yes.
I'm glad that
that'll
you
be-
mentioned Raquel as well, because I put that down when I was going through the eliminations, and everybody was saying that Liv did it. I'm like, no. Raquel put her over the top rope,
Mhm.
and Liv was
Yeah.
the one who knocked her off the apron.
Yep.
Outside of that, we haven't heard.
Can-
we haven't
can
heard
I-
Eric. Yeah,
Brian,
go
Can
for
I
it, John.
correct you?
Yes.
Because there was someone who predicted that Alexa Bliss was coming back.
Was it
Because
you?
I texted you.
Oh yeah, you did.
And
yeah, while we were
I
there.
did. I straight up texted you, and I was like,
And I told you, I was
I
like,
think,
there's-
yeah, you said there's no chance. I was like, dude, I think Alexa's coming back tonight. And you're like, no chance, not.
I was gonna
And I'm
text
like,
you 'cause-
it's all.
yeah, because Big Don and I were texting each other back and forth that night while we were there. And I wanted to, I forgot to text you, so I'll just tell you right now. I'm so glad you were right. Because
Dude.
my God, dude, I'm so glad she's back. So glad she's back.
I leapt out of my seat. I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
290-pound dude.
Everybody did.
I
Like 100
leapt out of my
70,000 people did.
Oh,
at the same
dude.
time in
It was the
unison.
loudest pop of all the pops.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I think it was the
By far,
loudest
yeah.
pop of the night.
Yeah.
I think the only I think the only one that was close was the end of the men's rumble. That was close.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we haven't heard from Eric yet. He been quiet over there. He's a big talker. He hasn't said anything. Eric, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts
sorry,
on the
bro.
women's? What are your thoughts on the men's or the women's Royal Rumble this past weekend? If he's still with us, he might not be.
Can you
That's
hear
fine.
me?
He's like, screw you.
There
guys.
you go. Um,
I was happy that
uh,
Jordan Grace was in the Rumble. Like I was at MMA watching the MMA fights while I was watching the Rumble. Like, I was like Jordan Grace. But with Alexa Bliss, the one thing I'm glad I haven't heard y'all say where she paid homage to Bray Wyatt with her jacket. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
that got
I was
me.
gonna bring that up, but yeah,
I was
I'm glad
like,
you brought that up, Eric.
like, damn it. I'm in my feelings. I'm at MMA. Like, it was, and I would have got rid of Nikki Bella
Yeah.
because that should have been AJ Lee. I would have got rid of Charlotte Flair because God forbid we don't need to see her again. You know.
So to be fair, you can't get rid of Charlotte Flair though. Like,
Uh,
thing about it is
I would took
like,
Becky over Charlotte. You know.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we also don't know why Becky's not. Well, I kind of know why Becky's not back, but
Hell, I would take
I don't know.
Santina Morella over Charlotte Flair.
I don't
Damn
know.
right. And you're right. We will never get rid of her. She is an infectious STD that
You know
Ric
what
Flair
made
gave
me
the world.
so you know what made me so disappointed about Charlotte Flair?
What?
She is one of my wrestlers I wish I could like.
Hmm.
You know, like
I see that.
do you
Yeah.
ever like, I'm a big sports guy. I'm a big sports guy. I watch a lot I pay attention to and I kind of watch sometimes the NBA and like LeBron James is one of those people I wish I could like because he is very talented, but he's just a crybaby. And there's other things I just can't like about him. But like to me, it's Charlotte Flair. If it was WWE, it would be Charlotte Flair. I want so bad to like her because she's such a nice person. Like she is
Yeah, she
such
really is.
a nice
Like,
woman.
yeah,
Like really, she is.
Yep.
And like I was watching some of the interviews with her during the weekend, and she's
she's
just
a
a
sweetheart.
sweetheart.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
I was telling Brian I don't like her as a wrestler, but
Yeah.
I love following her. Like I love her as a person.
What I wanted,
Yep.
what I want so bad. I think we talked about this because Big Don Raven and we all met up after the Rumble was over. What I was hoping for, and I talked to a few people online too, is I wanted her to reinvent herself because
Yeah.
I'm so tired of her being copy pasted Ric Flair. I'm so over that.
Mhm.
Like it's almost like if they did that with Roman Reigns, if he was just copy pasted The Rock, or any of the Samoans were copy pasted whomever. And what's great about those that are in the bloodline, the Usos and Jacob Fatu and all that, is yeah, they take some moves from their parents, but they're not their parents, right?
Hmm.
So Charlotte Flair is still like Ric Flair if Ric Flair was a woman. That's just how I see her.
Ugh, scary thought.
So I know, but like I wanted her to like break away from her dad.
The
Yeah.
music,
Almost
the figure four,
almost
all
in
that.
like a not like a disrespectful way, but her just kind of say, I'm not, I'm no longer my dad's daughter anymore. Or something
I
like
am
that.
Charlotte. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
Charlotte. I'm not,
Yeah.
I want you to know me as I'm Charlotte. She could just say her first name. And then I want her to come out in a black, dark attire, maybe dye her hair a
Yes.
different color.
Yeah.
Just like have this darker, more edgy, kind of almost like an NWO version of her character. Like a more edgy, darker.
That would actually be really cool.
You could even make
I'm gonna-
her like a biker chick in a way. Just change up her persona.
I'm
I
gonna
don't-
throw an idea
I-
out there.
Yeah.
I
What's
think
the idea? Yeah.
if Charlotte Flair could take a note or a page out of MJF's book, that's
Oh,
the
it'd be like
Charlotte Flair I
kayfabe?
would take.
Yeah.
Like super kayfabe, and
I would love
just
that.
like the idea that, because what you guys are all for hitting the nail on the head. Like if you look at the four horsewomen of the WWE, every one of them has reinvented their character to
They
be
sure have.
legitimate
Yeah.
multiple times,
Yeah, man.
except for Charlotte. Charlotte has
Charlotte.
literally been the same Charlotte since NXT.
She's
Her
been the
gear has
queen.
changed.
Yeah.
Her gear has changed. She's gone from being like Charlotte Flair to being the Queen Charlotte Flair, but it's all just like you said, Brian, it's all copy paste. But if she just cranked that up to 11
Yeah, dude.
and just was like, you know what? I am the best in the world. I can prove that because I've got 16 freaking title reigns. I've
Yeah.
beaten people in the Rumble. I've kicked the crap out of your favorite superstars. I can beat anyone and everyone on this list. There is no one that is
I'm
better than me.
saying, man.
And you know what? Give her both of the title belts. Just
Oh
let her
shit.
run roughshod.
Dominant.
Let her run roughshod over,
Yeah.
even if it's just on one brand. Let her
Yeah.
beat Chelsea Green, and then let her
Okay.
beat. Is it Rhea that's on?
Rhea.
Yeah.
Rhea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let her take both belts and walk around and be two
Ooh.
belt, two
Ooh.
belt Charlotte. Let her
You think?
be this badass that she totes around being
Yeah.
within her character,
Yeah. She
and
could just
just let
say,
people lean into not liking her
yeah.
as a heel.
Yeah.
That's how you build.
Yeah.
Heels are so much easier to build
Oh my God,
than
they totally are.
faces.
Yeah. And not only
And
that,
then
but she
and
could.
then you just yeah. And then next year at the Rumble, regardless if Nia Jax comes out, regardless if Piper Niven comes out, as soon as Charlotte Flair comes out, the entire ring beats the
Yeah.
crap out of her and throws her butt out.
Yeah. I think if she could cut a promo where
Like
she,
they did Naya a couple years ago.
I think if she could cut a promo where she's like, this queen is like throwing away her crown, and she like just completely gets away from the queen persona. Because
Oh yeah,
like
there you go.
the thing I like, I want her to like just that way she could get rid of the queen persona without necessarily feeling like she's gonna disrespect her father, because she still doesn't want to disrespect her dad.
Yeah.
It's her dad, right?
Yeah.
So she could be like, I'm this bitch is trading in her crown, and it could be for whatever, right? And then she could just make herself a more of a villain in a way, not just a heel.
Yeah.
Because like she could be the Roman Reigns of women if she wanted to be, because everybody
Yeah, they
can't
could do that.
stand her. Because if you think about it, we really haven't had a woman that has had a villainous, likable persona like Roman Reigns does in the women
Yeah.
yet. And I think
Do you think she would be more likable as a villain?
I 100%, because if I'm saying it, I would like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
That's how you get someone like, because look what they did with Roman Reigns. They pushed Roman Reigns in our faces for like what, how many years? They did stupid shit like changed his contacts, which I don't, they had to have The Rock come out and put his razors on, all these things. And then just a little reinvention of him as a heel. Dude, look
Yep.
at him now. If you do that to Charlotte Flair, she could even have her own stable. She could have the Four Horsemen. That would be
Yeah.
her bloodline. And she could
Yeah.
have three other women, and they don't have to be related because it's the Four Horsemen. They're not related. And she could have her own faction of heels of women.
Yeah.
And she could be the Roman Reigns heel that we have not had yet in a woman in WWE. And I think if she did it, I think it'd be perfect for her.
That's
The
a great idea.
fans
Yeah, I
already
don't see
like
anybody
her.
else doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, who's gonna do that? Becky
Right.
ain't gonna do that.
No.
Haley ain't gonna do. There is no person right now. Not even Rhea. Rhea's too over. Rhea's too likable.
Yeah.
Even when Rhea's a heel, she's likable. She's got that Seth Rollins about her. Even when
Yeah,
she's
she's
a heel, people
Yeah.
love her, right?
Yep.
So you got to
she
have
falls
someone.
in that stone. She's in that like stone cold category. It's like she's
Yeah.
always over. She's
Yeah.
always over.
Exactly. So I think if anyone can pull off and Nyla, but Big Don, you could have her have titles for years. We have yet to
Yeah.
have a woman have a
Mhm.
belt for multiple years. Like, I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
2, 3, dare
Yeah,
I
let's
say,
do it.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
With a woman, and then you have everybody else just chasing. Have them
Mhm.
chase. Have them chase. I'm not saying we got to replicate the Cody Rhodes story. You
No,
twist
I
it up,
think you
change it up. Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you replicate. I think you, well, maybe not replicate, not like a carbon copy, but I think you
Mhm.
can pay homage to something like what Jade Cargill did in AEW.
Yeah, dude.
Give her a belt and let her
Yep.
literally squash every
Everybody.
person she can. And
Yep.
then first off, I love the idea of her actually creating, like, if she's going to pay homage to her dad,
That would be the best way to do it.
the biggest thing that Ric Flair is known for, other than being a multi-time world champion,
Is a
is the
heel.
Four Horsemen. Is
And
the
yep,
Four Horsemen.
is that.
You
Yep.
give her a strong stable. I mean, every time you saw Ric Flair, who was next to him? Arn Anderson.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
you give her an Arn
Yeah,
Anderson
Right.
type of heel partner, and then
without a
you let
doubt.
them throw a couple other people in there as come
Yep.
uppers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
there's no reason why you can't throw a
Absolutely.
really good, strong heel women's stable. I mean, we got a couple of
Yeah,
heel
dude.
women's stables
Of
that are
Put
good,
course.
put
but
Jordan Grace with
you can,
Charlotte.
Oh
yeah,
shit, yeah.
Jordan
There's your
Grace would be
yeah,
muscle.
great.
There's
Jordan
your
Grace
muscle
could
right
yeah.
be her
there.
Arn Anderson. Yeah.
Mhm.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean,
That would be
but
sick.
dude, that would be how you would get me to like
I like her.
Charlotte Flair
Yeah.
as a heel.
I can wrap my head around that.
Because I'm so over her being the same thing over and over. And I was really hoping that when she came back, it would be different, but disappointed in there. We got to move on though. We got more matches and everything to talk about.
Oh
Next
yeah.
up, we
There's more
had
matches.
there are three more. We had the 2 out of 3 falls match.
Well, I wanted to talk about Maxine Dupree real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Make it quick. Make it
No,
quick.
that was
Make it quick.
no, that
Real
was it.
quick as a
Was
joke.
Do it. Do it.
No, just that like I loved her look when she came out there. She got a really big pop too, which I actually wasn't expecting because I feel like she is another one that's I don't necessarily say being underutilized. I do think she is to a degree, but I mean like she is still working, getting built up.
Yeah. But no, go ahead.
Oh,
I'll wait.
sorry.
A great idea. Go.
And I just feel like, I don't know, I loved her look. She came out there very confident. And then as soon as she got to the ring, she was very unsure of herself. And then, she had some backup and then she got beat up. And then she threw Ivy Nile out and then she immediately got eliminated. Like, I feel like they're doing this little tug of war with her. And I just wish that they would really I kind of feel like they're doing a tug of war and she just needs to yank it back and says, no, this is like my time. Like, I don't know. She's another one that I've liked ever since I saw her. And to see her come from,
Yeah.
be just this,
Yeah.
side girl to somebody who's actually throwing down in the ring the past couple of years has been amazing to see. I've loved her transformation.
I think you could throw her into that 4 horsewoman Charlotte Flair stable if you turn her heel.
Seen as a heel.
No, hear me out. She's a goody good. She's super overly nice. She's young, up and coming. Have her learn under Charlotte Flair. Like kind of like that evolution
Okay, when you
heel.
put it that way.
Kind of like that
Oh
evolution.
yeah.
If you could
No, it's
cross
great.
cross evolution in the Horsemen, because
Mhm.
Ric Flair was part of both those stables. See, you see where I'm going here?
Yes,
you
he
have
was.
you have a Randy Orton was the young, youthful up and comer. So who do you
Yep.
have
Yep.
be that? Maxine Dupree, dude. I know
Yeah.
that might sound hard to believe at first. I'm telling you
No,
though, if
it's
she
good.
could turn heel and just be under Charlotte's wing, dude, I think it'd be a beautiful combination. It's
I
just
saw a video today of her giving Zoe Stark a makeover, and it was really fun.
Just hear me
Oh,
out. Just
yeah.
hear me out. I'm just saying that could be good. Be good. Anyway, all right, for realties, let's go ahead and move on. So we had this 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this match, man.
Me either. It was
To
good.
me, it wasn't a bad match, but it was just kind of it was the bathroom break match. I hate to say that.
It was the talk
Which
amongst
sucks.
yourselves match.
Which sucks because these 2 tag teams are great. I love DIY. I super love the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean,
Yeah.
if you watched them in TNA, you know that Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley are just they're like peanut butter and jelly. They go well together.
Oh, yeah.
I was
not sold on them. I think they're good. I'm just
Yeah.
like, meh.
you didn't watch TNA, so you don't have that TNA connection to them. Like
I mean, I've seen quite a bit of TNA, but I hadn't seen them.
right.
But they do still, in my opinion, and I was telling you about this couple weeks ago, they still, to me, have that TNA feel. Like, I don't feel like even though they're with WWE, I don't really feel like they've
That's true.
shed their TNA persona, if you will.
True. DIY ends up, retaining the titles here,
Right.
which I kind of expected. I want Motor City Machine Guns to chase because they kind of got the belts handed to them when they first debuted, right? So
Right.
I want them to chase. I think DIY being heels is great for them.
Hmm.
Um,
I agree with
seeing seeing these two guys who had a hell of a back and forth in a hell of a story
Moss
in
is great as
NXT.
a heel.
Having those two have such an amazing feud in NXT. I really hope that happens, that spark happens again, and it causes that
Mhm.
conflict between the two of them. I don't know who would turn face. I think it'd be kind of fun if you had Ciampa turn face this time.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I was gonna
instead
say.
of how it was before. Yeah, instead of how it was before, and have Johnny Gargano stay heel because I like Johnny Gargano as a heel. he's fantastic. Do
He's
you guys
better
have
as a
any?
heel.
Do you guys have any thoughts on this match before we move into our ladder match?
I didn't even really see this match. This was the one that
Yeah.
I was gone for.
You
So.
left.
I
Yeah.
caught the button where the Street Profits screwed, Motor City Machine
Oh
Guns.
yeah, I did catch that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
I caught
like,
that
what
too.
the hell is
Yeah.
this and why?
Right.
yeah.
Like,
Big Don, did you have any thoughts about this one?
I have some thoughts about this one.
Go for it.
I agree with Raven that I feel like the Motor City Machine Guns still feel like either NXT level or Indie
Hmm.
Darling
Yeah.
level
Yep.
tag
Yep.
team.
Yeah.
Which I didn't
Yeah.
watch a ton of TNA, but I will say the Motor
I
City
gotcha.
Machine Guns, I have seen matches of theirs, and they
Hmm.
are very good. They're
Oh yeah.
very good.
Oh God, they're so good.
But I feel like there there is a shift that you make
Hmm.
when you
Mhm.
it's almost like and I hate to say it because I love indie wrestling in general,
Oh,
but
Hmm.
same.
there's a polish. That's the term I'm trying to
Yes.
think of. There's a polish that you gain when you really embrace, as much as I hate it, when you embrace that WWE formula
There's a
for your character.
quality. There's a
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a
certain
different
quality.
quality,
Yeah.
and I think that Motor City Machine Guns, they're on the brink of that.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think this may have an opportunity to push them
Yeah.
into that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
personally like the idea of, because the match was, if I'm not mistaken, the match was over when the
It was a quick match.
Street Profits came out. Is that not? Am I
Yeah. It
mistaken on
was.
that?
no,
Yeah.
the
Okay,
Street Profits cost the Motor City Machine Guns the match because they,
Yeah. They cost them the match. Yeah.
because they attacked DIY. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
or
right.
no, they attacked they hit one
They
with the crutch.
they attacked the Motor City Machine Guns, but then they also attacked DIY.
Yeah,
They
like
attacked them
after the
Right.
both,
match.
but yeah,
So
the title didn't change hands either way. But yeah.
right. So I personally like I like the Street Profits making that shift.
Me too.
Something that the Street Profits
Yeah.
have suffered from for too long is
Yeah.
being this tag team that has incredible talent on the mic and in the ring, but getting
Right.
lost in the mid card,
Oh my God.
no
Thank you
real
so much.
strong
Yeah.
tag team support,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Basically.
like
Thank you.
Yeah.
amorphous
Thank you.
blob that
They
WWE
Oh
haven't
my
done
God.
nothing
sometimes
good.
Oh
has.
my God. I'm not kidding, Big Don. That exact phrase was in my head. I was going to say that exact same thing. You said amorphous blob.
Yeah,
That was
Like,
exactly how I was thinking.
I
And
mean,
you're
they've been
right.
lost in their shuffle for a while. Like, I remember when they had the Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk tribute, at Freedom at a Yum Center,
Yeah.
the Terry
yeah,
Funk Texas Tornado match. What the heck?
Man.
Yeah. For me, like, I'm glad MCMG is in WWE. Don't get me wrong, because I have been hype about them
yeah.
coming over for a long time. I don't know how I feel about them getting the tag titles like right out the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, I marked out because at the end of the day, we're all marks, right? That's why we do this show. So I
Yeah.
marked out for a minute, and then I sat there and I was like, why did I do that? Like, that's realistically,
Yeah.
when I settled it that when I settled down from marking out about them winning the belts, I was like, no, that was stupid. No.
Like,
They shouldn't
what
get the
kills
titles
me
right out
is
the
the
gate.
match on
That's exactly what I
Saturday.
said. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
they just got here.
here,
No.
you gotta,
You got to earn those
because here's
belts.
the thing, like, here's the thing,
Mhm.
here's the thing people don't understand. I think what a lot of people assume, because we're smart marks, right? That's kind of what we are. Is I think a lot of people that not many people watch everything. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
many people watch everything.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's WWE, New Japan, AEW, TNA. Not many of us watch everything.
Yeah.
Certainly less if you're a WWE fan. And I think a lot of people think that, and I try and do this too, but they're like, but they come out and they're like, come on, this is the Motor City Machine Guns. Shouldn't you all be like giving them a huge pop? No, because the average WWE fan is a WWE
They
fan.
don't watch
Yep.
nothing else but WWE.
They watch literally nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else in their WWE universe is existent. It's kind of like how things used to be before Vince McMahon, or during Vince McMahon. There was no other
Yeah.
universe.
yeah.
WWE was it.
Yeah.
So the fans, all they've been conditioned to know is this is it. So when they see, I being the non-casual fan, I'm like, hell yeah, it's the Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, you know, I'm marking out.
Right.
While the guy next to me is looking at me like, who the hell are they?
Yeah.
You have to, you
Yeah.
know, right?
Why is
So-
that guy got spikes on his hoodie? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
yeah.
weird. So I think to give them the tag belts, you got guys that are casual that watch only WWE. They're like,
That's bullshit.
why did they get the belts though? That's
Yeah.
stupid. So I do think they need a bit more build up. It's the same reason why you had Jade Cargill. You know, she didn't immediately go into WWE when she got signed. She was at the Performance Center for a long time before she
Mhm.
made her WWE debut. You know, Jordan
Yeah, I was
Grace
waiting.
has, you know, been doing Royal Rumbles, and then they had this multi-year deal with TNA, so she could kind of go to NXT for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you should have had the same thing done with Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley and have them do some NXT stuff in this crossover and maybe
Yep.
wait it a little bit
Yeah.
Yeah.
before you just have them go straight into the main roster. And maybe Triple H and whomever else that was responsible for that decision probably assumed and thought that, oh no, everyone's gonna know these guys are so over, and they aren't yet. They're not there yet.
I will say that
Yeah. Not to the casual WWE fan.
Absolutely not.
I'm happy that Triple H is trying to care more about tag teams because you know
Right.
with Vince he didn't care about tag teams. Like I remember there was times where he was throwing Beavis and Butthead together as a tag team, and you know like the
Uh-huh.
tag team division didn't care. But what
Yeah.
kills me is now I'm looking at the stats from Saturday: DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns from bell to bell, 14 minutes. What?
Yeah, it was
No.
long.
Yep.
That should have
was
been
long.
like a 20, 30-minute match right there. You know, not 14 freaking
Yeah.
minutes. That's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
hey, writers and WWE, make
Well-
that shit longer.
Hey, people had to go to the bathroom, okay?
But it shouldn't be that way. We're
They
supposed
could
to
have
be
done
out
that
of
during
that.
Nikki Bella. They could have done that
No,
during
they
Nikki
we're
Bella.
We are supposed to be far and away from that era. That's not how that is
Yeah.
anymore. We're not supposed to be there. Anyway,
I know.
let's go
I
ahead and
agree.
move forward.
To the
And
best
let's
match.
get to, I think this was the match of the night. You had Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion,
Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot.
taking on the real champion,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens. In
Kevin
a
was
ladder
right.
match. And this was Raven's first time seeing a ladder match in person.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
which
so
was
I
great.
got to ask Raven.
Huh?
What do you think? Your first
Oh.
ladder match ever in person.
Oh, geez. I mean, like, the only thing that would have made it better is if I was sitting closer. I mean, like, because, you know, even with my glasses, I'm half blind.
And if
So,
Kevin Owens won.
well, yeah, of course, if Kevin Owens. I mean, just a ladder match in general. But yeah, it was amazing.
So this match, man, what a match, man. This was so
Like-
damn good.
I like Kevin's
Um,
shirt. Kevin had the best shirt.
He always has the best shirts.
Yeah. I liked his Cody Sucks Eggs shirt.
Yeah.
That's too funny. I hate to do this. I know a lot of you guys like Cody.
I love this so much.
This is the first time I actually in person watched a Cody Rhodes match and booed him from bell to bell.
He
What?
legit booed him. And I'm sitting next to
What?
him
You got
like,
a picture
who
with
is-
Cody. How
I
dare you?
booed-
I was like, who is this man?
No,
And I told him, I was like, I have never
Yeah.
heard you boo.
I literally booed the ever loving shit out of Cody Rhodes from not even bell to bell, from like
Right.
literal entrance theme,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the end of the match.
But did you whoa
okay.
though?
It's okay because this was a practice run. Because
Oh, did you? Whoa.
did I what?
Whoa.
No, I said no.
That's right.
Oh.
you did. Yeah.
I said
Wow.
no, not
Yep.
whoa. That's okay though. This is my practice run for when Cody does turn heel because I still believe
I told you.
that this man is turning heel
Told you a long time ago.
for WrestleMania. All right, I am speaking this out because it's about damn time. This man, he got the belt. The chase is over. What else has he got to chase? And like Big Don and we were talking about this post WrestleMania or WrestleMania. It felt like one post Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it did.
He has no chase anymore. So now he's on the way down, right? He needs to be a damn heel.
Well,
Time is now. He needs it needs to happen. And
And-
I'm sorry, but that look he gave,
Mhm,
he shot at Sami Zayn and Kevin, that's a
mhm.
heel. That's a heel look to me.
So, and what's funny is, of course, when you go to a live event like in person, there's no commentary, but we had the best commentary in our seat.
We did. We had
in
some
our
some
section.
amazing fans
Yeah.
section.
But like as soon as Cody, when they started going out in the crowd, as soon as Cody grabbed that drink from that person, the guy behind us immediately was like, "See, Cody cheating again already."
He's a cheater.
Yeah,
funny
little
as
he is
fuck.
a cheater.
He is a cheater. Just like when he used that steel chair on Kevin Owens at Saturday Night's main event, he is a damn cheater. This was a phenomenal match from bell to bell. Both these men are amazing superstars. I will be cheering Cody Rhodes again. Maybe I don't know yet. We'll see. But the real story here is
Kevin was
Sami
right.
Zayn
Right.
as Sami Zayn came out, and we're going to talk about briefly what happened on Raw. Sami came out. If you don't know, Kevin kind of was walking up to different people leading up to Royal Rumble, basically saying, "Hey, you should have my back," right? And Sami came out, and I don't know if he's gonna help Kevin. And the thing about Sammy is, man, Sammy's a little instigator. He's like always got to be in the middle of everybody's business. By the way,
So
you know what I'm saying?
you know what I think of when I think of Sammy?
What's that? What do you think?
Because you were talking about like how he never picks a side.
Yeah, he's very
Like
neutral.
he tries to like be the mediator,
Yeah,
play the go-between
absolutely.
and all that stuff, which is okay to a degree. But I think of that from Hamilton. If you don't stand for something, what are you going to fall for?
Yeah, that's true.
And he just never really seems to like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he did take a stand against Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but look how
Look
that
how
ended.
long it took him to do that.
Yeah.
But Sammy came out. It was a phenomenal match. Lots of ladders. There were people chanting, "We want tables." This is a ladder
No, that was so
match.
dumb, actually.
By the way, I loved when they pulled out the little giant ladder.
That was funny.
I really wanted Kevin Owens
yeah.
to do I really wanted Kevin Owens to do a swanton bomb off that. It'd been so funny.
He acted like he was going to. That was great.
Hornswoggle ladder.
Yes.
The Hornswoggle ladder, yeah, that was so hilarious. There was one moment we're looking back and watching that because we watched that we rewatched that too with the commentary, of course, where Kevin's looking at the ladder and he's like, I can't get the belt with this ladder. And he throws it at He throws it at Cody Rhodes in the head. But man, all these ladders coming out. Some amazing spots. We got almost a package pile driver from Kevin to Cody on the ladder, but instead Cody did a little flapjack onto the
Alabama
ladder
Slam,
a
baby.
little Alabama Slam. Yep, right onto the ladder, and Cody wins the match. Cody retains. I
Boo.
I think this is the end of us seeing the winged eagle. Which, by the way, let's talk about that. How amazing was it to see the winged eagle in person again?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Oh, that's for those of us who have been watching a long, long time. That was something special.
It is a pretty
That was cool. And I think it also shows just how gaudy and huge the current belt
new
really
one.
is.
Oh my God.
Like,
Well,
like,
when we saw the replica
Dude.
and you held up the replica and you're like, "This is how big." I'm like, "That thing is."
yeah, I
It's
went to the superstore and I got to hold the winged eagle. I was like, oh yeah, this will
Oh,
be
nice. Yeah.
this will be my first real title that I own one day. But Cody wins the match. I believe we're done saying the winged eagle. Although I think it'd be kind of cool if Kevin Owens grabbed it and still kind of threw it around there. But Cody wins the match. Sammy didn't really pick a side. He made sure that
He didn't
Kevin
do
was
anything.
okay. He didn't do anything. He actually kind of checked on both Cody and Kevin. And that
Yeah.
shot at the end of Cody standing on top of the table,
the announcer's
the
table.
announcer's table, looking down at Cody looking down at Sammy and Kevin was kind of a heel moment. What did you guys think about this match? Somebody take it from the top. Anybody jump in. Do it.
I mean,
Yes, Josh.
I don't want to say letdown.
It was a letdown. Why?
it's just I didn't get the I don't know I'm searching for the word wow factor, I
Mm,
guess.
okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was a letdown, but I agree that yeah, there it wasn't a whole lot of wow factor. I mean, there were some great spots and everything, and it was fun to boo Cody and but
Mhm.
I agree. It wasn't really
Okay.
wow. And as a matter of fact, when we started rewatching it on TV, I started falling asleep.
Oh no.
However, the
Yeah.
ending of it was fucking brutal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Don, what did you think about this match?
I thought it was great. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I really, I agree with you. I think it was the match of the night.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got two battle royals, so those aren't you're gonna get some finisher spots, but you're not gonna get anything super crazy out of a
Mhm.
battle royal.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
the tag
Yeah. Truly.
the tag match I felt like was the lull of the night, even though it was still really good. But
Right.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think that this match was the match of the night. I agree with you on
Mhm.
the Cody turn. I think, you and I have talked a couple of times, just, on the side,
Yep.
just talking about what can Cody do next. Does he drop the title at Mania to
Mm,
No.
somebody?
yeah.
Does he slide into more of a, anti-hero, true heel sort of
Mm,
Cody Rhodes? I'll
yeah.
tell you, what, and I know that I think I've said this to you 3 or 4 times because I've said it to my
Yeah.
buddy Josh as well,
Yeah.
my podcast partner. There is nothing that I want more in the WWE right now, and for the last 6 years,
Yeah.
than a true form club meeting for the WWE. I want
Me too.
Cody.
Oh.
I
Absolutely.
want
Oh.
Finn.
Fuck yeah.
I want
Absolutely.
AJ. I want the Good Brothers, and I want Meacham and Meechin.
Michin.
Meechin.
Michin. Yep.
I
Yeah.
want a WWE Bullet Club.
What about
I
Yes.
Tama
don't care
Tonga?
Please.
what it takes,
Please,
but I
God, give
think
us the Bullet Club.
that's a move. That's a move you can make with Cody. Turn him heel.
Yep.
Add AJ and Finn. Even if you just add AJ and Finn to that, I mean, come on.
Ooh,
That'd be my
baby.
favorite
Come
faction of all time.
on,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Please give it to me. Make that neck
I want
tattoo
that
worth
so bad.
something. For the love.
Yeah. There's no good reason they can't do that right now. I
Yeah,
mean, I
Let's
think if you're
do it.
gonna have there's speculation that we're gonna have a Roman and Cody meeting again later on down the
sure.
road.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
think you have the Bloodline versus the Bullet Club.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Can you imagine a
Yes.
War Games match at
totally.
Survivor Series this year between those two?
Well, and then you would
Ooh,
have like
hey,
all the conflict between, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa because they
oh,
were
that's
members.
true. They were in it
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
You have 8 people. There are 8 people on the WWE roster that I can think of right now.
Yep.
There are 8 people that have been a part of the Bullet Club.
What about
Yep.
the Hukla or Hukula, whatever his name is? That was part.
Hykulio.
Yeah, he was part of the Bullet Club too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is
I don't know
he?
if
Oh
you
yeah.
have
Oh,
any other Samoans come in right now. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You could.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saying.
think that
Why not?
I think a Bullet Club would be that could be where they're headed. Who
Right.
knows?
And
I'd throw JD. I'd throw JD McDonough in there with Finn, but he's breaking ribs and puncturing lungs, so he's going to
Puncturing
be out
lungs,
for a
yeah.
couple of months.
Yeah.
Busting his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually really, really bummed about that.
All right,
I love
guys.
JD.
I do
I think he
too.
is something else, but
Yeah, we were talking about what I was talking about him on the podcast before this one, or before the Rumble that we wish they would like push somebody, a little bit like,
Yeah.
like Dom or JD and talking about
Mhm.
how JD takes these hits and how he gets like beat up so much and then that
Uh-huh.
happened and I was like, "Oh,
All right, guys.
yeah.
We're gonna move to our main event, which was the 2025 Men's Royal
Main
Rumble.
event.
And before we talk about who won, Geet, we're gonna talk about how this thing started because oh my God, we got
I
something I've
was
been wanting
losing
for a
my
very
fucking
long
mind,
time.
dude.
We got Rey Mysterio at number one.
Yes.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah."
We got Penta at
we
number
got
two. And
WrestleMania without WrestleMania.
I know.
That was early Christmas. Yes.
We did not get enough of just the two of them.
I became a
Oh,
fan
geez.
of Penta during this.
What a tease! This has to be a
That was
WrestleMania match.
fucking
Without doubt.
amazing.
This has to be a WrestleMania. Dare I say, this could be Rey Mysterio's retirement match.
I could see that.
Oh,
Ooh, I could absolutely see that.
Because I think if you retire, you go out on your back, and who better luchador to pass the torch to
Yep.
than Penta? I'm just
Unless
putting it
it's your
out there.
son. Unless it's Dom.
That's true.
I don't.
That is also.
I don't see
No.
Dom. I don't see Dom embracing the lucha
At least not right now. But
wrestling.
the two luchadors face off, started the match. We have Braun Breaker coming in, number 7, the current Intercontinental Champion, with Carmelo Hayes coming in
Love
number
a
4.
Braun Breaker. I love Carmelo too.
We had Akira Tozawa come in at 7, getting attacked on the way down, and that's when the streamer I Show Speed,
That was
which
freaking
was
funny.
really funny.
I felt bad for everybody who had that number in the Rumble polls.
That was, yeah. We had Jacob Fatu entering his very first Royal Rumble.
Hey,
So hold
man.
on.
I was mad about this.
So hold
actually.
on. My the person that I'm looking forward to having a star year this year is Jacob.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Amen.
Jacob Fatu is going to have his
This is going to be
breakout
his year. Yeah.
He will have a title. Dare I say he'll win the World Heavyweight title.
I mean,
He
I
is-
was saying that
This
last
is his
show.
year. This is his year. Yeah, you
Yeah,
were.
you were.
Here's the thing. I never knew who he was
Oh.
until late last year. I was like, who the hell is Jacob Fatu? And
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, he's a beast.
So,
Like-
funnily enough, I actually had heard his name through the grapevine when they were, talking about who they were bringing back for the new bloodline and everything. So I had actually already heard his name along with Zilla Fatu and everything. So I actually became acquainted with him prior to him coming over to
Yeah.
Bloodline.
Jacob Fatu this time
Freaking
next
amazing.
year will be a superstar.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Well, here's my prediction.
Guy's the future of
I
the
absolutely
Jacob
agree.
Fatu and Braun Breaker will be world champions by next year.
Ooh,
I
see that.
I could see
See
that.
that.
So,
Yeah.
when I said that I was mad about this or whatever, I feel like he was still kind of underutilized in the Rumble. I feel like he could have had a couple more
He
eliminations.
took out 3 people as soon as he got in there. He took out Rey Mysterio, Chad
Yeah,
Gable, and
I think he
Andrade.
had a total of 6 for the night.
Yeah, he took
Oh,
out.
did
He
he? I
just
thought
got
he only
beat
had the
for a
3
moment,
total.
yeah.
Oh,
No, I think he had 6.
All right. Well, then maybe I misspoke.
Give me a
I
second.
mean,
Yeah.
But we
I
haven't
had
if he
the-
has
rewatched it
6,
yet.
that's
We haven't
yeah.
rewatched
If he
it
has
yet,
6,
so I'm a
that's
little rusty.
20% of the field.
Yeah,
Even with
that's a good-
3,
So
that's
that's good then.
10% of the field. I mean, he's
that's a
taking
good
out
amount.
he's taking
That's
out
a good amount.
he's taking out 10% of the people who are in there.
Okay.
That
Jacob
guy
had
is
4.
Oh,
Jacob had 4.
He had
Okay.
4.
wow, there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
That's still a
him
good
and,
number.
Yeah.
Him and Roman tied with the most eliminations in the Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
see when you put it in that
There you go.
perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
We had at number 15, I believe in Joe Henry. We all
Oh,
knew it.
Dude.
dude.
We knew it was going to
I-
happen. There was just
I mean,
it was
yeah.
a matter of time.
It had to.
How was
We
the
had the
experience there?
current TNA World Champion running down the ring with the belt. By the way, whoever thought they would see that? Not me.
Hey,
Not
championship
me.
at
But
WWE.
Okay,
Joe
so
Henry,
how- So
And he
Raven,
also
Bryan,
worked
and
with
Big
Roman.
Don, what did y'all think? Like seeing Joe Henry live, like the whole atmosphere with the crowd? Because watching it live, it was like this crowd is loving it. Like
In his
the
presence.
So we've seen him live at TNA.
yeah.
well, I've seen him multiple times live, but yeah,
However, seeing Joe Henry
WWE
WWE in a stadium full of 70,000 people chanting, "I believe in Joe Henry,"
Yeah.
totally different experience than the little
Hell yeah.
venue we saw him at in TNA. Yeah. So yeah, that was just
I bet that was great for him too.
oh my gosh.
He was like,
And-
"Whoa, the big crowd."
How cool to be thrown out of the ring by Roman Reigns, you know? I don't know.
Right.
dude, hitting Roman Reigns in the ring was just surreal as hell.
Yeah.
like I was like,
I
This
want
is-
that to build on something.
this is the weirdest thing ever. Here's what I want. Here's my wish for 2025.
Yeah.
I want. You know how bad John Cena wants to win a championship, right?
Yeah.
I want John Cena versus Joe Henry. Will John
Oh
Cena
my God.
win? No. Will that match happen? I hope to God it does. I
Oh
think
man.
it would.
That would be
Dude,
so great.
I want to
Yes.
see Joe Henry make a song
I was
about
just going to
John
say that.
Cena.
Yes.
And you know it'll be all about how you can't see the guy. And it's gonna be the
Oh
funniest thing,
man.
dude, right? I just give me that. Please, at least
I just
one,
want him to do
please,
songs about like everybody in the.
please do a match between him and John Cena for the TNA title.
He
Because
was
I
called
think
a
it would be insane.
prototype.
I think it'd be insane if anybody were to cross the line, it'd be John Cena on his way out. Just saying. Um, so we got Roman Reigns came in at 16 to an insane pop. He came out, he took out the Miz, Sheamus, Joe Henry, and Braun Breaker. He took out all four of those men. Jey Uso comes in at number 20, and we got the return of the phenomenal AJ
Yay.
Styles.
So, so what's funny about this?
Yes, Raven, tell them all about how that made you feel.
So what's funny about
Yes.
this is that literally before in the group chat, and we didn't talk about this, we didn't predict this on our last show at all. Like his name didn't come up at all. But
That's funny. Yeah, I know.
I know it's weird. I don't know why we didn't think of him.
Yeah.
But during the group chat, or like before, it was right after the Women's Rumble. And I said, we wanted AJ Lee, so watch, we're gonna get AJ Styles. And sure enough, we did. And I gotta say, I wasn't mad about it.
Yes.
I mean,
I was
for
happy he
fuck's
came
sake,
out to his
not
original music. Like, God, I
Yeah,
hated
me
his old
too.
song.
Right. So
Like-
yes, I agree.
So are you an AJ Styles fan now?
No,
She will be, don't worry.
but
Damn it.
I probably
Brian-
will be.
She will be.
But what's funny is that honestly, like there is something to say for somebody not being in your face all the time. Like he's been gone for so long, and now he came back, and I'm familiar enough with him that I was just like, oh, hey, great, he's back. Good to see him, doing well or whatever. And then he got eliminated, and I was actually kind of bummed. I was like,
Yeah,
wait, what?
goodbye, AJ Styles.
So we had Braun Strowman come out at 22. And he
he got a huge pop
went
too. I
right
was a little
after,
surprised about that.
he went after Jacob Fatu, and he eliminated Jacob Fatu.
Oh, that's right.
And then we got John Cena in his last Royal Rumble.
Which we should have known which number he was going to come out as.
Do you guys know why he came out at 23? Anybody?
I do.
Nobody?
I do.
Raven, why did he
The
come out at
time is
20?
up, the time is now.
Because he has been in the WWE or in wrestling for 23 years.
That's right. That's why he came out at 23.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I did
right.
not. I did not realize that.
I met him
Yeah,
21
I
years
didn't
ago.
either, yeah.
Or
And this was
Or something like
Raven's
that.
first time
Seeing John Cena.
seeing John Cena wrestle.
what? You seen him? I thought he was invisible.
Oh, well, true. But that was her first experience with John Cena in person.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking about
yeah.
that. Isn't that cool?
It
Yeah.
was
Yes.
part of the Rumble, I mean, like it was just I was already all
Can I
excited.
say, by the way,
Oh.
can I say real fast before we talk about the end of this match? It's all the Royal Rumble has always been a bucket list item for me to go to, with the next one being
Yeah.
WrestleMania, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another bucket list item has been to do the countdown in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a really
That was the coolest thing. I mean, you see it at home, and you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But to do that with 70,000 people counting down from 10,
it was so cool.
oh my God! Can we just get that every year in Indy? Can we just make Indy the home of the Royal Rumble and just do it every year? Because oh my God, that was
Please,
It
that would
was
be
definitely an
awesome.
experience.
that was something.
Yeah.
So we had CM Punk coming out right after John Cena, number
Josh's
24,
favorite wrestler.
Josh's favorite wrestler.
Okay,
Punk.
first of all, that's not even funny. Everybody knows my favorite wrestler is me.
So his second favorite wrestler is CM Punk. But we got Punk eliminated Roman Reigns and Seth freaking Rollins at the same time.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
And then who came out at number 30? Logan Paul. And he eliminated CM Punk, and the crowd lost their damn mind.
Yes.
Right.
yes.
I will say with Logan Paul, okay,
Ugh.
everybody loves to boo Dom. Okay. You've heard how loud it is. We have heard how loud it is in person.
Mhm.
Everybody boos him. Nobody genuinely boos anybody in the WWE like they genuinely boo Logan Paul.
I agree.
Like they
I
genuinely
really hate
do not like him as a person.
Mm.
And it is insane. It is insane to me that like when we went to Cleveland, and of course Logan Paul is from
Yeah.
Cleveland,
Or,
Yeah.
and he came out and everybody booed him. I was a little surprised because I thought at least, in his hometown,
absolutely not.
there would be no, but you
No, they
hear
hated him
that
even more.
like as loud as it was at SummerSlam, it was like 100 times louder
So
at Rumble. It was insane.
so we got
No one likes
so
him.
Logan Paul eliminated CM Punk, and that left us with Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and John Cena. Everybody wanted Cena to win,
No, I did not.
but who won?
Jey
Yeet.
WrestleMania main event.
Jey
Yeet mania.
Uso.
So, how do we feel about Jey Uso winning the Rumble? Yeet. How we feel? Big
I
Don.
will.
Now I want Big Don to go first. Big Don,
Sorry, Eric.
how you feel about Jey Uso
Did
winning
not.
the Royal
Oh
Rumble?
God.
Well, can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Switch my mic. My headphones pooped out, so I had to switch my mic. So I have to say, I am extremely excited, extremely happy for Jey Uso. I think that he deserves it. He's been through ups and downs in his own personal life and in his career. And I think that the last 5 years of his time with the WWE have been the best 5 years he's ever had in his career.
Yep.
He has cut incredible promos. He has added to his own, his own repertoire as far as like the moves that he executes and the charisma that he brings.
Mm-hmm.
He reminds me, and I don't remember if I said this to Brian, but I was talking to somebody about this. It reminds me, the excitement that I've got for Jay reminds me a lot of the excitement that we all had for Kofi. When Kofi was doing his WrestleMania title.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you did mention that.
Yeah. Kofi Mania.
That level of excitement. Yeah, and the funny thing is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jey Uso has been in the WWE now, 12 years, I think.
Yeah, Jey Uso has, yeah.
When Kofi won the title, he had been in the WWE for 11 years.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very similar as far as like the build up for what's going to happen at Mania. I think to give him an opportunity, first off, I think him winning, he won the U.S. title, I think, right?
No, he won the
Or did he win
Intercontinental.
He won the IC title.
I think that it would do him such a huge service, and I've said this to anyone and everyone that I talk to when it comes to wrestling and titles. There are two reasons for somebody to have a title. Either one, the person has the title to elevate the belt. So if you are somebody who is of an extreme allure, they give you the belt because you can give that belt legitimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they use the belt to elevate the performer. And I think that at this point in time, giving Jay the opportunity to win the title belt is great, but they kind of did that with Gunther. I think they need to pull the trigger for Jay to win the title, even if it is kind of a shorter run. I feel like for guys.
Yeah. I think that if you're going to pull the trigger, I think he should go after Gunther. I think it makes the most sense. They already had their match at Saturday Night's main event, so which of course Jey Uso lost. So I think I know he's going to go and talk to Cody Rhodes on Friday, this coming Friday, as of this recording, and have a conversation. I think that he should choose Gunther. I would be relatively shocked if he picked Cody. I
Same,
think
yeah.
I think he only picks Cody if Cody turns heel. Um, who knows though?
Also, that could
Yeah.
also be the impetus for Cody turning heel.
What's that?
Cody dropping the belt could be the reason that he turns heel, even.
That's true.
Mhm.
That is very true. And I think for him to lose to another Samoan could be interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
keeps that in play. So I don't know. Me personally, I don't
Jay.
know. I think I would feel better about Jay winning the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know how I feel about Jay being the main guy right
Yeah.
now. But I definitely feel that Gunther as World Heavyweight Championship has been pretty mid
Hmm.
so far.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
so,
we all knew he was going to win that belt, and now he's just kind of been nowhere, right?
yeah.
Which unfortunately does happen.
Yeah, and I feel like his IC title reign was way more
It was more interesting.
prestigious
Yeah.
and more interesting than him being World Heavyweight Champion. So I
Well,
think if
he
he
also defended the IC title more often than he's
Way
been
more.
able to defend the
Oh,
world
Yeah.
title.
absolutely. So I think if Jay goes after anyone, it's Gunther, and he'll
Gunther, yeah.
beat Gunther at WrestleMania for it.
For sure, yeah.
Uh, how does everybody else feel about Jay winning the
Dude, I'm so excited. So I had to look this up because I thought that I heard Jay say this on Raw, and just slight correction, Don. He's actually been in WWE since 2010. So he's been in there 15 years.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
15
And
years.
I thought he did say 15 on Raw, so I had to look it up. Yeah, 15 years. He sells more merchandise than anybody else. He is he's never, I've just recently found this out. He's not been injured.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's freaking incredible. He is the perfect choice to win the Rumble right now. And what I find even more interesting, I found out today, which I love that they do this. He had no idea until a few hours before the Rumble that he was going to be the winner.
I saw that too, yeah.
And
That's crazy.
I just think that's insane. Like he
Yeah.
said that they brought the four people who are going to be the last four in the Rumble. They brought them in the room, and
Yeah.
that's how they told him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to say that I'm. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I want to say that I'm all for it.
Oh yeah,
You know,
he deserves this so much.
the internet wrestling community is very toxic, and they've all been
They're so
hitting
fickle.
A bunch of dicks.
all kinds of shit about it. Me personally, you got your predictable winner in Charlotte, right?
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
and nobody liked that.
and I think we had to have an unpredictable winner here.
Right, Josh. That's a
Because-
great point.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Look how many people you could have picked. This was probably by far, dare I say, the most stacked men's Royal Rumble match we've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, all of your big players were in this. Seth, Punk, Roman. You
It was
had
pure chaos for
Cena,
a while. It was amazing.
Mhm.
and everybody was looking at them, and no one thought about Jey Uso. I don't think anybody predicted Jey Uso to win this match.
Mm-mm.
Anybody
Nope.
predicted that to happen.
Well,
Because I know on our last show, I don't think anybody. Well, I mean, except Josh. Josh was like, "Give me somebody
Yeah.
give me somebody we don't expect." So there you
Yeah.
go.
Well, we both
and
said
he
that,
was
but
on
I
that
think
list of
Josh
guys that
did
we
say
wouldn't
Jay.
expect. So
Yeah.
in a roundabout way, we all kind of did together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to talk through it out like therapy, kind of.
Mhm.
You and I did anyway. But so happy for Jay, dude. The guy,
Mhm.
it isn't just about merch because he is the number one seller of merch. It's not
No,
about
I
merch.
was just bringing that as a point
The
of
guy. Look at the crowd reaction every time he's out.
yes.
I mean, some people will say, I wish he wasn't successful without the yeet. Dude, all the successful superstars have their thing. Roman Reigns has the point. The Rock had the people's eyebrow. Stone
What?
Cold had what?
Mhm.
LA Knight has yeah. They
Don't forget, yes.
all have, and yeah, Daniel Bryan had the yes movement.
Yes.
They all
They
have
all have a
those
thing.
things.
So like, if you haven't been paying attention to pro wrestling in the last 10, 15 years, you can't really make that argument.
Because yeet is so much worse than can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Well, or or what? Which I'm so
Yeah.
Or the suck it. I mean, back in the
Yeah, I mean-
Attitude Era, the suck it stuff with DX.
But for
Yeah,
me,
suck it.
I'm so here for Jey Uso. And here's the thing, man. We all kind of knew, right? I mean, if you really think about it, had we, had I not thought about this last week or whatever we did our last show,
Mhm.
he's been telling us main event Jey Uso, right? Main event.
Yeah, for over a year now.
So, and I
He
remember going
finally
into the,
stepped into that fucking name.
yeah, I remember walking into the superstore on Sunday and they already had the WrestleMania main event Jey Uso shirts for sale. I was like, yeah, come on, we knew,
Yeah.
they knew, they told us all along, right? So
Mhm.
I'm excited. I think you have Jey Uso win his WrestleMania main event.
Can I speak on this?
Yeah, go for it. How'd you feel about it? What'd you think?
So, watching it, you knew my picks, and everybody I've talked to that, who was in my Royal Rumble pool, they didn't
Yeah,
have Jey Uso. They had Roman. They had Cena. They had Punk. They
yeah,
had Drew. They even had The Rock. Jey
yeah,
Uso was nowhere.
yeah.
And
Nowhere
then,
to be
like,
found.
on the betting things, Jey Uso was a plus. I was like,
Wow.
But watching Jey Uso for all these years, I remember his debut in freaking Florida Championship Wrestling as
Yeah,
Jules Uso. So that should tell you, I've been watching Jay for a minute. He's a
yeah,
workhorse.
Oh my
He's
gosh, he's
he's
absolutely.
never been
incredible.
injured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like we were talking the other, on Monday, he's the fourth Alawaii family member to win the Rumble. He
yeah.
deserves it.
Yep.
Like
That's true.
a lot of people
Yeah,
say, well, if you've seen one Jey Uso match, you've seen them all. Well, Jey
No.
Uso's a workhorse.
yeah.
Jey Uso's never missed a day.
The thing about that is, like, I'm so tired of people saying, "Oh, he just does super kicks on." Bro, they all do the same stuff usually. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, let's be real. Let's be real.
I mean,
There's some things we expect. Although I will say, I think Jey Uso plays around with it a little bit more than other people do.
yeah.
Oh, you mean
But
he's like again, he
yeah,
well, I won't say he doesn't take it seriously. He absolutely does.
I just
He has fun with it.
he's
Yeah.
had such a character development. I mean, the guy
He
has
really has.
really, I mean, he finally broke out of being just a tag team person. And I was kind of worried there for a bit when they brought the bloodline back. I'm like, no, don't like put the Usos together again.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was worried about that too.
I want Jay to break out, and he has done exactly that. So I don't know
I
what to tell people who didn't think this was going to happen.
I
I will
I
say I
hope
didn't think it was going to happen, but it makes the most sense, honestly.
I hope Jay's world title run is not a failed like Kofi Kingston's was, and I'd say Big
Yeah.
E's. Like Big E, I was happy when he
Ow.
cashed in, but his title run was horrible. Like,
Well, we're in a whole new era now, so I don't think we have
yeah,
to worry about.
like
I don't think Jay's going to have a. He's
what?
not going to be a
Like
transitional champion.
one of my favorite matches with Jay was when it was Jay versus Roman in Hell in a Cell. Like, I still go back and watch that match.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I'm happy.
All right.
Well,
I-
and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. Like, I'm happy with Jay. To all the haters out there, fuck you.
Oh shit.
So real quick, what I was going
no.
to say regarding the whole like like comparison to Kofi in the sense that like you hope it doesn't turn out to be that way. But
Yeah.
wasn't Kofi still part of a tag team when he kind of broke out and did his own thing?
Yeah, he's still part of the New Day.
So
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
and that's the difference. So Jay has been a solo wrestler
Wow, now.
for a while now, for
Yep.
what, at least a year. He has established himself, not to a lot of people, but he has established himself as an individual. You
Yep.
know, he is Jay Uso.
Yeah.
He's not, and we don't say this in the terms of like where tag teams are bad, but
Oh,
he's
that's
not
right.
quote unquote just part of a tag team.
It's just him.
Like,
Do y'all remember the?
He can
Just-
carry himself.
Oh yeah,
So
like
and I wasn't there for the whole Kofi thing, but just in those differences alone, I don't see that happening with Jay.
like Jay can carry his own. Like I still remember the freaking matches that the Usos and the New Day had with the kendo sticks and Hell in a Cell and all that. I was just like,
Yeah.
what the hell? And like I love the Usos when they were doing like that war chant before every tag match, and they was like, we say ooh, y'all say oh, ooh, so, and I was like, they got the crowd, like, and that's the thing, like
Yeah.
fans don't look at it from another perspective. They just like, oh, he sucks, oh, he's horrible, he don't deserve it, blah blah blah. Really?
But
You got part-time Cena, part-time Roman, part-time,
Well, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
CM Punk, who's injury prone, Drew McIntyre. Here's my little thing about Drew. he does deserve another Rumble win because he didn't get to win his title in front of
Yeah.
a crowd. He did have the number one fan hanging above him. That's the only fan he had. But
Mhm.
I just feel like this is Jay's year.
Yeah.
Like
So
he's done.
so real quick because we got to wrap it up in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Monday Night Raw real fast. So we
Fuck Monday
had
Night Raw, that glitchy shit.
real fast.
Oh my gosh,
we gotta
that was
be we
horrible.
gotta be super duper quick, y'all. I'm not gonna go over everything. I'm gonna hit the main one, which was
Yeah.
essentially you had Seth talk to Sammy, basically making sure they're good.
Hyping him up.
Gave him that pep talk.
Gave him a little pep
Yeah.
talk, and then we had Kevin attack Sammy.
Yep.
So we had talked about this on our prediction show last episode.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, for some scenarios, you could maybe have like Sami Zayn win the Rumble, have Kevin beat Cody. I think we're gonna end up getting that match at Mania.
Yep.
I think it makes sense. These two have such a tumultuous history in professional wrestling in general, not just in WWE. I've followed Kevin Steen and
Who's that guy?
Sami Zayn. For a long time, I love both these guys. So I think a better way to really kind of do the opposite of what you did 2 years ago when they main evented in the tag match they won against the Usos. You have these guys go at it, and you make it an Extreme Rules match, and just let them fight it out all over the damn arena. Um, another thing too. This wasn't on Raw. Is I firmly believe we're going to have a triple threat match at WrestleMania between Punk, Seth, and Roman Reigns.
Dude, I
I
want
actually
that
just
so
read
bad.
that today. I just read that.
But the
Wait,
only
what?
problem with that is we don't know what the favor is still from Punk, right?
Yeah.
So I think the favor is going to be Punk gets in the Elimination Chamber match,
Okay.
and that may be the favor. I don't know.
Punk into the what
Because
again? I'm sorry, repeat that.
I think Punk's favor will be to get into the Elimination Chamber match.
He's already in it.
Oh, that's right, he is. That's right, he
Yeah.
won. Forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, who knows what the favor's going to be then? If he's in that.
Damn ice cream bars again.
We know that John Cena will be in the Elimination Chamber match. He said at the post show for Rumble that he's going to be in the chamber.
Yep.
I think this chamber match is going to be really good.
The best
It's going to determine who's going to face the other champion that Jey Uso doesn't pick. So it should be a really interesting one to see. But outside of that, we still have about 2 months to go, y'all. Before we get to Mania. And you guys have any final thoughts for us here on this episode? And then we'll before we sign off.
What about the
Maybe-
elephant in the room about the glitchy Raw?
Oh,
Ah.
that was,
I don't care.
Man.
I didn't have any problems,
Yeah,
but
I think that's
I
still
watched it the
Netflix
next
filling
day.
it out.
So
I hope
Oh,
they
that
make
could be
Kevin
why.
and Sammy night one of Mania because last year or WrestleMania 37 it was night two, and Kevin
Mhm.
beat Sammy with Logan Paul in his corner.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
So
Hey Don, you got any final thoughts about maybe what's gonna happen? What stems from the Royal Rumble to Mania? Maybe even the
Yeah,
chamber?
so I heard a couple of interesting scenarios, one of which I really like. Now, I touted the idea to Brian earlier about about a triple threat match where you have Seth and CM Punk and Roman, and so finally, you have Seth go over, and finally he basically squashes his demons.
Beats his
But
demons.
This was a theory that I heard about an half hour or so before we started recording, and I really dig it. So the idea was that, one, CM Punk wins the Elimination Chamber, faces Cody for the title at Mania.
Oh,
So then you can finally just get Seth and Roman at Mania.
oh, I'd be okay with that. I'd love that.
Okay.
And then with John Cena loses at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And the theory behind this I thought was kind of cool because I don't think I even connected the dots, but they were saying that basically, he kind of came out and he was like, I don't know if I can do this again. I know I've been away for a long time, but I'm going into the Rumble. And now he's like, well, I didn't win the Rumble, but I'm going
Yeah.
into the Elimination Chamber to win. And like,
Yeah.
I think basically the approach that they had was they feel like John needs to have this weird existential, like, maybe I
Crisis.
am too old to win one more title. Maybe I really do.
I like that. Yeah.
Kind of give him this like existential, what's going to happen to John Cena, and then finally, maybe at SummerSlam, he kind of finally gets his rhythm again. Give him. I honestly think. I know that they don't normally do this, but I honestly think you give John Cena the title on like his last pay-per-view, just because you
Okay.
already let Roman beat Hogan's record for the longest title reign. I think Ric Flair's record for the number of titles should be broken.
Okay. I'm there for
That's
that.
just
I
me.
agree. It should be broken.
I'm
Yeah.
there for that.
Yeah, and
I
I
mean,
don't
it
know
should
that
definitely be
John Cena
broken
has to do
after
it.
last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think John Cena has to do it to do it at WrestleMania, because I think
Yeah.
I think they can continue to play this out with him and draw it out. But I loved the idea of CM Punk, Cody, and then Seth and Roman just mano a mano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this that you've presented to everybody, this kind of have John Cena don't think he has it anymore.
Yeah, I didn't think
And
about that.
him
Makes
just
sense.
telling people, well, there's a reason why this is my farewell tour, guys, and you're seeing it, or something like that. Like
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
him, everybody, trying to build him up, but him not build himself up,
hmm
and him losing. I think he needs to lose a lot in this farewell tour. I think he needs to put over as many people as he can, like him putting over Jey Uso, that's what he did, right? It was him.
Mhm.
He got
Oh
eliminated
yeah.
by.
No, absolutely.
So he puts Jey over. I don't know who else you have him put over. If he's in the chamber, who do you have eliminate him? That's a question, right? Because somebody's gonna have to do that. Someone's have to pin or submit
Yeah.
John Cena to eliminate him. So who would deserve it? Who would get the most out of pinning and eliminating Cena from the chamber? And then with his
Yeah.
Mania match, yeah, who do you have him put over there? There's a lot of questions here. We also didn't answer, who is Charlotte Flair going to choose? I
Tiffy
personally,
time.
I
I would like
personally,
to see her choose.
yeah,
Tiffany.
I want to see her choose Tiffy. Does she
Yeah.
win at Mania though? No.
Oh,
Please let this be the first time she does not.
I don't think she'll win at WrestleMania
okay.
unless.
This would be the first time she didn't win at Mania, wouldn't it? Didn't I read that
No,
somewhere?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But unless you do what I suggested earlier in the show, and you have her just be
Crap it
this
out.
dominating heel that
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And maybe by beating Tiffy could also be a part of this 4 horsewoman stable. Like, that'd be kind of cool too.
Oh
Yeah.
I mean, we already
have
seen
her,
Rhea and Charlotte.
Yeah, we've already seen Rhea and Charlotte. I don't want to run that back again.
Yeah, we already
So
seen it twice.
I think it'd be kind of cool to see like Tiffy, Charlotte, Maxine Dupree. We need a 4th woman, so I don't know who that would necessarily be.
Duh, I'm an idiot. She did lose to Rhea Ripley 2 years
I was
ago.
going to say she got beat
WrestleMania.
by.
Duh.
So
I don't know what I'm thinking. I even watched that.
her and Tiffy would be an amazing match. I don't want to see Charlotte win that match unless she goes full fire red hot heat version of herself that we haven't seen yet. So I think that could be the case.
Because Tiffany's kind of over right now too, so that would give them a really good opportunity to give some cheap heat to Charlotte, and then just kind of light that fire.
Yeah, and maybe that starts her path to. She wants to be the dominating woman in the business.
I don't know if my mic cut out earlier, but did you hear my suggestion for John Cena winning the Money in the Bank?
No. What was that?
We didn't hear that.
What?
No, I'm sorry. You repeat that again, Don? I can.
Yes.
Yeah, you're very muffled.
we
Cena
can-
won
we-
Money in the
we-
Bank in 2012 and failed cashed in.
Okay. Okay. So he's won it, but he wasn't able to cash it in, and he's had the Money in the Bank cashed in on him. What, like 3 times?
I don't quite remember.
First time was at New Year's Resolution where Edge won the belt for the
Yeah.
first time ever.
Yeah, Edge cashed in on him. Yep. Yeah. So you want
Right.
to see
I
Cena
think
win
that would
win the Money in the Bank? Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
that'd be interesting. I kind of dig that. I'm
Yeah.
here for that. That could be his
I
come
kind of
up.
like that.
It could be his come up match, right? Like he's on the way down.
Yeah.
He wins the Money in the Bank, and this is where he builds himself back up. He's got the
Yep.
briefcase. You know, it's more fun because he could show up at any time. He could cash it in at any time.
Okay, I like this idea.
You know, like
Yeah.
that way he has a little bit more appearances in his farewell tour.
Hmm
'Cause I really hope we see a lot of John Cena this year before on the way
We
out.
better.
I think we will.
And then you have him
fan.
and then you have him cash it in, and I guess you have him win it, right? Would that be your thing, Don? Would you have him win it or would you have him lose it? He cashed it in.
Win it. Win it.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah, that would be how he breaks the record. I agree. I like
That'd be
that.
cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Well, guys, that is going to be it for our Royal Rumble post Royal Rumble show as we're on the road to WrestleMania. And with this being our first show of the month of February, you know what we're going to do. Last episode of this month, Raven's going to react to another match.
Whoop, whoop.
We don't necessarily know what we'll be talking about, but I would imagine we'll be giving our predictions for the Chamber at that point, right? Because Chambers win March 3rd. Is that right?
March 1st.
Yeah. So there you go. So our next episode will be our Elimination Chamber prediction show, and then Raven will be reacting to a match.
Have you ever watched it? Have you ever watched the Chamber match?
She has never seen a Chamber match, I don't think.
Oh.
No, you watched it.
I have.
No, she
I
watched
have.
it last year when Logan Paul had that spot with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I had forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd forget
Yeah.
about that too.
She watched.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that
She's
great.
seen one. Well, we do appreciate you, Big Don. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was just gonna say, my suggestion, if you're gonna watch a match before Elimination Chamber, is the one where Sean comes back.
Oh, Shawn Michaels return. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
I might do that. Might throw in just make you watch a Chamber match before Chamber. That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe.
Might do that. Well, thank you, Big Don, for joining us, guys. Everybody, go check out the Stable podcast, and Josh and Big Don host that show where they also talk about professional wrestling. We want to thank everybody for listening to our podcast. By the way, it's not just a podcast anymore
Aha.
because we are now the official pro wrestling brand of the Domain GPC network. So you can now find us on YouTube.
You can Google us.
You can Google us, and we're the only result.
This is legit. I
That
was
sounds
so
kind of
excited.
dirty.
Google us.
But and we have a YouTube channel. You can go search us up. It's a bunch of marks. We also have a TikTok page. It's at Real Bunch of Marks, where we'll post nothing but pure pro wrestling content. That's right. We've broken entirely away from the domain. We're now our own pro wrestling brand.
Mhm.
So that's something exciting going in as we're in the early start of 2025. So there you go. Anyway, we thank you so much for listening to our podcast. And guys, we will see you on the next episode. Until then, have a good one. Bye, guys.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Deuces.